News coming in this morning. Kurt Hogg of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting that outfielder Garrett Mitchell has been transferred to AAA Nashville to continue his rehab assignment. Mitchell has been out since late April with an oblique strain. He'll begin his assignment starting tonight. Stay up to date on his rehab. Check out ESPNWisconsin.com.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
and then Contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, Mr.
Mister.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. We know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power. Primetime war shine behind the glass. Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton with me. Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio as well. It is a big series, as big as they can get this time of year. It is still middle of June, but the Cubs are taking on the Brewers at Wrigley Field. The Cubs lead the series 2-1. We have pregame at 6:29. First pitch 7:05 here on ESPN Madison. Cubs first place 44-28. Brewers 39-34. I believe a 5.5 game lead for the Chicago Cubs. So no matter what, the Brewers will still be in second place at the end of the series. But it is an opportunity for them to gain some ground or fall woefully behind the Cubs or shoot the difference there. But before we get into all that, and we play, a little bit of a betting game here between the three of us and the series. Molly Brown had a heck of a day. You can see her on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Her face doesn't look too bloated or inflamed or however you want to describe it. Numb. You can also stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin
swollen
app. But tell us about your swole face there, Molly.
Oh, guys, it's brutal. So I had to go to the dentist today, and I'm sorry if I'm talking weird. I'll get there as to why I am. But I had to get a cavity in, and honestly, I was supposed to get this like 2 weeks ago, but I just kept pushing it back. 1, because I was scared. 2, because I was a little bit busy, but mostly because I was scared. I was just like, even though I've literally had like 2 root canals, I've had cavities. Like I just don't have, I brush my teeth, I floss, I do all the things. I just have really crummy genetics when it comes to my teeth. Like I swear to God, my dad.
I love that dentist started saying that too, because it makes me feel like I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, yeah, like I literally have an electric toothbrush. I don't drink like soda. I drink my Zoas, but like I'm genuinely pretty good about like oral care and like my health. But like growing up, my dad always had teeth problems. It was just, I swear it's genetic.
It is. My wife is really on top of it, and she's had multiple cavities. I didn't have a cavity until I was 40.
That's
and
crazy. See, my husband has never had a cavity, and I'm like, how? I don't know. But I did get lucky, and I have straight teeth like naturally, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Orally.
At least he thinks so.
Take that for data.
But, so, I got a cavity filled today, and you guys have both experienced cavities. You said you didn't have your first one until a couple years ago, Jim. But they give you your Novocaine shots, right? So they first gave me one. They're like, okay, we'll be back in a little bit. Great. It came back. They're like, oh, do you feel, like, swollen yet? And I was like, well, it feels like a little bit, but, like, it's only really, like, the gums, kind of. And they're like, okay, we're going to give you another one. I'm like, okay. So then they did me another one. And then I felt it still. I was like, okay, thank God they didn't start drilling there, because that would have hurt. So they're like, okay, we'll leave you a bit for a little bit, right? And initially they told me this was only going to take an hour. So then I'm sitting in the chair for like another 10 minutes, scrolling on my phone. Then they come back, and then they're like, okay, like, how do you feel? I was like, well, it feels like a little bit tingly, and like I feel like decently numb. And so then they started...
Comfortably numb?
Comfortably numb, yeah. I don't know what that means.
Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, comfortably numb. Pink Floyd. So
Totally know what that is.
exactly. So then they started drilling, and at first it was fine. I was like, okay, cool. Like, we're moving. Great. Like, get me out of this chair. I'm ready to go. I hate going to the dentist. Then all of a sudden I'm like, ow, I can feel it. So then I raise my left hand, and they're like, oh, you still feel that? I'm like, yeah. So then they gave me another one. And what are we at? 3 right now?
Yeah.
I eventually end up getting 4 shots of Novocaine in my face. Half of my face, I swear to God, like up to my eye. Like once they shot in the 4th shot, I swear, like I felt something go up by my eye. And like, I don't know if my eyes got like blurry or what. But all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my God. Like, is something happening? I didn't know. And I kind of got scared. I'm like blinking my eyes. Like I'm getting a little dizzy. I'm getting a little nervous. But yeah, so right now, my face feels like I had a stroke, at least what I imagine a stroke feels like. I feel like I'm slurring my words. This is the most I've talked since I got it done this morning. And mind you, my appointment is at 10:30 this morning. It is 4:05 right now. I'm going through it.
Now that you mention it, and I'm like watching
my
you
lip
talk,
feels swollen.
It looks hilarious.
I try to take videos so we can post like on our socials, but I'm like, no, I just look stupid if you don't know what's going on. I'm drooling. I am drooling out the side of my mouth. Like, I need to take a swallow.
Do we need Chrissy to get
You
like
can see that on the YouTube stream, by the
Do we
way.
need Chrissy to be in here with a
She should be my
towel just to,
dabber?
like, to dab you?
No,
when you're
we do
talking?
not. We do not need to enlist Chrissy in that. She does not deserve that. But no. So I am going through it right now. I am hoping that this wears off soon. It is starting to get tingly rather than like swollen, I think,
Okay.
which is a good sign. But yeah, even like my ear. I could literally like rip my ear off right now and I wouldn't feel it. Or like when I was trying to eat my lunch because I didn't eat. I
I
ate
can
like
see colors. I can hear colors.
I ate a granola bar before I went to go to the dentist, and that was all that I ate. And then they were like, oh, yeah, like, you probably shouldn't, like, eat for a little bit. I mean, they're like, you can eat, but, like, be very careful. And I get it, because as I'm eating a sandwich today, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, my God, I almost bit through my lip. I could literally bite through my lip and go to the hospital to get stitches. That is how it feels. That is not being dramatic either. I should just turn off my mic.
So if you see Molly
doing
just
great.
staring off into space, moving her hand around,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's comfortably
What
numb.
song is this, by the way? Is this Comfortably Numb? Okay. That's what I thought.
Make a guess on it.
I mean, I thought,
Context.
That's probably being a great producer.
but good job.
No.
I'm gonna start dumping
That one was a little dramatic, but I am like very true. I'll shut my mic off.
The first time you did that, it wasn't on purpose, right?
No,
the
it
fir-
really was. Like, that is not being.
The first slurp, I would
Yeah.
say.
There
The
you go.
first guzzle.
There you go.
I don't need that.
You could dab yourself instead of
No, because then it's
slurping
going
into
to
the
get
microphone.
stuck on my face. Then
I
you guys
just say lean in and drool. You got the spit guard already on your mic. Just let her rip.
like a dog. Ah.
She's gonna take her dentures out midway through the show.
Goodness.
bad.
All right. No easy way to transition from Molly's numb mouth.
You
to
keep
that.
talking
Now
about
that you listeners are all comfortably numb
Yeah,
from
right.
Molly's
Yeah.
story.
Are you extra zoomed in on my face on the video stream right now?
Maybe.
Watch
I'm
Molly
so
drool on
zoomed in.
YouTube.
Molly's about twice the size of Jim and Matt right
Yes,
now.
yes. But
keep
that's
it like
not
that.
zoomed
Keep
in.
it.
That's just the swelling.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get lip injections, I promise. On one side.
Oh, wait, injections.
But if you wanted to, you could have gotten them done.
I could have gotten it done in Carbon World Health,
Yeah,
for
at
sure.
Carbon World Health
Along with some
in
Botox.
Sun Prairie. They do a lot of different things there. Ashley, you've had, consultations there. A lot of great things going on. You just were
Actually,
complimenting yourself earlier.
we could actually talk about this, you guys. I was telling you before the show started, I couldn't stop staring at myself at the gym this morning. I know that sounds very weird, but
Vain.
It does sound very vain.
You're
But
so vain.
you probably think this song is about you, don't you? No, I literally, okay, so at the gym, like the mirrors are right in front of the treadmills. I'm on the treadmill and I'm running, whatever. And I get very red, right? Like, I mean, Ashley at Carbon, she literally gave me like an anti-red serum, which is great. But this time it wasn't getting red at all, so I think it's working. And my skin is just glowing because I got a hydrofacial just a couple weeks ago, and like I couldn't stop staring
A
at
little bit of
myself.
fop sweat. You were glistening.
I wiped the fop sweat to make sure it wasn't just fop sweat that was making me look. Sorry. I wiped the sweat to make sure that it wasn't just that was making
Did
me
you
look
not
good.
say the L because your face is swollen, or did you
Yeah.
not know it was
Yeah,
swollen?
Just give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
She got injections.
In my teeth.
Carver World Health in Madison and in Sun Prairie. All right, the Brewers take on the Cubs. You can see that on WIC TV tonight, thanks to a partnership with Good Karma Brands. So that's pretty cool. That you don't have to have cable to watch the game tonight. Big game. So I want to get to some predictions. We got for real or phony around the Milwaukee Bucks coming up, and we got Jason Wilde a little later in the show. But I want to talk about the series overall, and I'll give you a little bit of context here. The Cubs tonight send Ben Brown to the mound. Do you guys know anything about Ben Brown?
Ben Brown to the mound. We did a Molly's game a couple weeks ago with him.
And he was
didn't we?
involved in it. Mm-hmm. So he is actually a classic Craig Counsell guy, but the Cubs are not doing this. He is terrible in the first inning and then good the rest of the game. And so they actually were using a opener for him for a little bit, and he actually had 2 or 3 good starts, or not starts, but came in the second inning and did well. They've gone back to making him a starter. It has not gone well. He'll likely get sent down as the Cubs get healthier. He's a player that he get moved to the bullpen, or at least out of the lineup. But he's 3-5 with a 5.71 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. WHIP is walks, hits per inning pitch. So the higher the WHIP, the worse you are. Tonight is Chad Patrick,
Take that for data.
who is a prospect for the Brewers. He's 3-6, 325, 1.26 WHIP. And then you have Jameson Talon tomorrow. Now, he's 7-3 with a 348 earned run average and a .98 WHIP for the Cubs, but then the Big Miz is pitching for the Brewers.
Nice.
But the Cubs might have a advantage in that one because Talon is a talented player, and I mean, he was like the 4th overall pick. He had injury and I think some cancer issues and kind of worked his way back. So he's still a younger pitcher who's doing well. But
You're saying they have the advantage over a guy that pitches 102.8?
Well, Talon's a pitcher. Like, he's 7-3. He'll probably pitch in the All-Star game. Like, that's the one where like he's one of the Cubs' better pitchers. That would be the one. Miz has had 5 innings at the major league level.
No hits.
Okay.
No earned runs.
And then,
ERA 0.
Then Cade Horton is the Cubs version of Miz. He's 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA, a 1.21 WHIP. So he's a kind of a youngster. And then obviously Freddie Peralta for the Brewers on the third game of the series, 6-4, 2.60 ERA. So with that in tow, what do we got for how many games do you think the Brewers win in this series?
Based on that, Big Miz and Freddie in the last 2 games, we might lose this first one, but we're not losing with Miz starting, and we're not losing with Freddie.
Patrick,
I'm not doing this at all based on the pitchers for the Cubs, purely on how much I like Freddie Peralta and how impressed I was with the Miz.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm even coming to the point where I agreed. On Friday, we chatted with Gabe Neitzel, who was at the game.
Yep.
He convinced me. There's no way I'm making contact.
I heard.
If I can't do it, no one on the Cubs can either.
So
God, it's like you're a kid where, like, if we tell you, you won't believe us, but if somebody else does, you'll believe it.
I'm a nut.
Because also, they're like, Big Miz is a big-time prospect, but Chad Patrick, like, if you're going to the series, Miz, which speaks to the depth currently of the Brewers, depending what he develops into, but it's Peralta, Patrick, and Big Miz as far as the best 3 pitchers for the Brewers. Chad Patrick is a prospect for the Brewers that should have probably a little more love than you're giving him. Like, he is pitched more this season and is pitching well. Is a Rookie of the Year candidate type guy.
Yeah, this is probably the first time I've heard that name.
Yeah, so you have 2 out of 3?
I think 2 out of 3 is fair. And the last time, I guess 2 out of 3, they went 3 for 3. So
Also, the Brewers win 1. Because based on everything that I've heard, it sounds like the Cubs are a pretty good team.
So to that point, I will give you this, Matt, if you want to. I didn't add this context. So the Cubs are 44-28. They're 23-12 at Wrigley Field where the game is being played. They're 21-16 away from Wrigley. They're 5-5 in their last 10. The Brewers are 16-19 on the road. They're 5-5 in their last 10. The Brewers' run differential is +21. The Cubs is +105. 105.
Okay. That's a lot.
So
Cubs bat's pretty good, but apparently contact is huge when batting in baseball, and the Miz is going to not let anyone make contact.
It is interesting that they're both 5-5 in the last 10 games.
Yeah, the Cubs have played the Phillies and Detroit, so some of the top teams in baseball.
Lost one to the Pirates.
They took 3 out of 4 against the Pirates, yep.
Yep. They lost one. That was the only one I remember.
Yep. Well, sadly for the Brewers in this scenario, the Cubs in their 5-5 stretch against someone that they've faced 3 Cy Young candidates in their last 10 games, they've actually made hay against the Brewers because they've just lost in the wrong days. One of those, kind of weird timing things here. So, Matt, I do want to get to this real quick. Molly, you can chime in too. It is not a minute to win it. But, so you have the Brewers winning one of 3. I have the Cubs winning 2 of 3. I have that bet with my actual brother as well. Give me how many Cubs in the starting lineup can you name?
Even with the ones you just named, still 0.
Patrick. One of them was Patrick.
That was the
Ben Brown. Got him.
Yeah, Ben Brown.
Got him.
Nice.
That's the pitcher.
That's
What
it.
about an actual lineup guy who bats?
Pitcher's not in the lineup?
They don't bat.
Okay.
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Kyle Schwarber. I know he's
Nope.
a Philly now, I think, or he was a Philly.
I think he still is, yep.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell doesn't bat.
No. Yeah, I literally have no idea of any Cubs.
You
Seriously?
said Patrick.
That is
Oh, that's
the
a pitcher
Brewers
too?
pitcher.
Oh,
the Brewers pitcher.
oops.
Yeah.
Not the Miz.
Matt, Ryan, do you want to hop in
I
on
can
this and
barely
save
tell
that?
you
What
the Brewers
what
lineup.
if you put the line on that?
844-770-3776.
I would hope half.
That's the
Zero?
Carbless talking text line. List is more. How many starters for the Cubs could you list?
Yeah. I'm doing it right now.
Pete Alonso.
There's a Pete. There's a
Is
Pete.
there Pete? I'm just gonna name any baseball player
Jim
I can think of.
mentioned
I don't
the
think the
first
Brewers have
baseman.
any popular, or the Cubs have any popular players.
I've said
His
the
last
first
name
baseman is
starts
show
with like
prep.
a B or something, like
Multiple
Beck
times.
or
They have 2 players on their team are currently like 2 of
Bush.
the best players in the
Something
NL.
Bush.
Dude,
Something Bush.
Jets.
Jeb Bush.
Yep.
Jed? Was it actually?
No.
Oh,
No,
it's like, no way.
that's the former
way.
governor of Florida, right?
Gave up
Yeah.
his political career to
I
turn to baseball.
Yeah. Michael Bush.
Michael Bush.
That's their
Michael
first
Bush.
baseman. Yeah.
Okay, so I got one.
I told you guys about a player whose mom was in the movie
In Angels in the Outfield.
Yes.
I
What
couldn't
was the
remember
player's
his name.
I gave his nickname and his full name yesterday when we were walking out.
the
Angel.
Rocket.
Can I say what I think his nickname is?
What?
Is it
Sure.
PCA?
Yeah.
PCA.
Oh,
You've seen the PCA for MVP? Like, he has a higher award this season than I think Jackson Churio had for an entire season last year.
I've
First
heard
na-
this name
No
before.
idea.
First name is Pete.
He might be a 20-20 guy,
Pete
20
Carroll-
home runs and 20 stolen
Oh,
bases.
hold on, Jim. What was that, Molly?
The projectile spit was really the creme de la creme of that
so
comment.
You want it?
bad.
All right. His hyphenated last name, it starts with a type of bird.
Cardinal.
Pete Cardinal. A hyphenated last name, Pete Cardinal.
Pete Cardinal playing for the Cubs.
So it's Pete ... Like, is his
Wait,
name.
so is Cardinal right or no?
No!
I thought it was Cardinal for sure.
It's a very
Condor.
Crow.
There you go.
Crow. I've heard this. Wait, I heard this morning. I heard it.
PCA is his nickname. So Pete Crow.
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 Walked on the
Alexander.
moon. He walked on the moon.
Alexander.
No.
Walked on the moon.
He,
Walked on- we
he
didn't even go to the
cheated-
moon.
He cheated. Yes, he cheated in
Armstrong.
bicycle.
Okay.
All right.
Didn't even go to the moon.
It's a trick
All right,
question.
Tyler
Wow.
Hero. Relax, Tyler Hero. Let's just
That was
chill.
a joke, everybody. It was a joke.
Oh, God. Also,
But
just
if you
after
want to talk
reference,
about that later, Molly, I'm all ears.
Matt also doesn't believe anything before 1950, including that his grandparents existed.
Yeah. I'm still sus.
Big Bang Theory.
Mandela effect. You know what that one is?
Yes.
What
but
is
what
it?
does that have to do with this?
Well, the idea would be like the 1950s thing. It'd be like the Mandela effect would be like nothing is real because it's all like after there was a extinction level event that we were like in the Matrix and we're all in a simulation. That's
I thought the Mandela
effect.
effect was like that picture of no. Okay.
Bernstein or Bernstein?
But it's because like
I
we
thought it
are
was-
remembering our true memories, but the Mandela effect would be the program, the simulation is messed up.
Yeah, like the dog's playing poker.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
We are in the Mandela effect because there was some sort of like event that we now have to be plugged into a computer to live, and like our memories are being controlled.
Nice.
That is neat.
Sounds like some conspiracy corner conversation.
Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Pete
Ian
Crow
Happ?
Armstrong. Yes,
Is he related to Ethan?
he is actually. Pete Crow Armstrong, Dansby Swanson, J.A. Happ. He's also related to J.A. Happ, who played baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays, most notably, I think. Michael Bush, Carson Kelly, Nico Horner, Matt Shaw, pitcher Ben Brown.
Yep. I wasn't getting any of those.
Good.
I got Ben Brown. I feel good about that one.
I'm proud of you guys. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Vote every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin recently upgraded their document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Adam Wallace, VFW State Adjutant.
Our representative ensured that we had what was right for us, for our needs, and for our budget, and I thought it was a very good interaction.
That's a good thing to have James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner?
Absolutely. We want people that are going to support what we want to do in supporting veterans, and if that means spending less on our imaging and technology costs, that's more that we can spend on our programs.
And that's a really good thing. Adam, any advice to other businesses out there?
I would say to go with James Imaging.
Because?
Because they are a partner, and they give great customer service, and the prices are right.
Great document imaging technology, great service, great value. From James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Live the high life at Nitty Gritty, home of the famous Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Celebrate your birthday at Nitty Gritty and receive a free memento birthday mug to fill with free beer, specialty birthday cocktails, or soda all day long. The Nitty Gritty has celebrated almost 900,000 birthdays, and birthday celebrant number 900,000 will receive a $1,000 Amex gift card. Grab some friends and celebrate your birthday at the Nitty Gritty, located in Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
It's here. The You Pay When Employees Pay event at Metro Ford of Madison is on. For a limited time, enjoy employee pricing for all in-stock new Ford vehicles. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford F-150 with 2.9% APR for 60 months, $17.92 cost per thousand finance. Plus, enjoy up to $2,000 of bonus cash. And yes, you can defer payments for 90 days with approved credit. Offer ends June 30th. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today and browse their inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
The ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open is also brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Starion Bank, Celebrations Entertainment, The Bogey Factory, Bruner Realty, and Hush Blackwell.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
I can't take this feeling anymore. Drain the pressure from the swelling. The sensations overwhelming.
You remember those magical moments in March back in 2015. Relive it all next week, Thursday. It's crazy. It's already next week, Thursday, the 26th at the Orpheum Theater. Get your tickets today at uwhoops2015.com. That's uwhoops2015.com.
Molly, do you know the song?
Let me listen to it. I was talking.
It was.
You don't know it.
It's
if you don't
Green
know comfortably
Day.
numb, you don't know this one.
Nope, don't know.
Green Day, Give Me Novocaine.
Oh, good one, Ryan. No, I do not know this one.
It was a Matt suggestion, as you might have figured.
Oh, good job.
Matt was very excited about that one.
I do, I share, I'm not as big a fan of Green Day as Matt, but I do. Green Day is pretty
This American Idiot album was good.
I was going to say, I know their main song.
Their first one,
Dookie,
yeah. Like that one was
Ew.
I definitely had that CD.
Okay.
They put out some good stuff.
Yeah,
this is
they're
Jim,
good.
Matt, and Molly. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton. Primetime War, Sean behind the glass. Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar studio. Bill Simmons had Milwaukee Bucks coach Doc Rivers on his podcast. It came out today. They talked about the NBA Finals, but we're going to talk about Doc's thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks here in a second. I will say kudos to Doc because it's got to be a little dicey to hop on an NBA podcast as a coach because there are things you can and can't say in theory about current NBA players. It could be considered tampering, things like that. He did a good job, I thought, of giving thoughtful answers without getting himself in trouble. He also, and we'll get to him right now in our segment, For Real or Phony. Now, For Real or Phony is we play audio clips, and then the three of us decide, is the person in this clip, are they for real or are they phony in what they are telling us? Let's play.
Well, look who's talking now.
You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
Now, are they speaking the truth
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
or feeding us crap?
You're a phony! Hey, everybody! This guy's a great big phony!
Time to decide if it's for real or phony.
Yeah, guys, as Jim said, we had Doc Rivers on the Bill Simmons podcast. One of the first questions Bill Simmons had to ask him about once they finally got to the Bucks in about minute 57 of said podcast, I had to ask him about the some of the rumors around Giannis this offseason, and here's the short version of Doc's response.
I don't know how many more times Giannis has to say he wants to be a Buck and he wants to win a title with a Buck, and it's so cool to me, because it's not the way it's done anymore. But with certain guys, I don't think Steph Curry would ever leave Golden State, ever. And I'm hoping, obviously, that Giannis is the same way. That's the way he's been so far, and it's been great. It's been awesome.
Jim, I'll kick it to you here first.
Yeah.
Does Doc sound for real or phony in that response?
I think he's for real. I mean, obviously, you're the coach of the Bucks, and you love that Giannis has been adamant that he would like to win with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think that is rare. I think Giannis is a saint for giving the Bucks a chance here because they've burned their roster to the ground, but maybe they can put something together and piecemeal a team. Maybe they could trade picks into the 2070s. I don't really know how it works, but I believe that he is earnest and honest when he's happy that Giannis thank you. Is adamant he wants to be a Buck.
Matt Hamilton, what do you think?
I think that was for real as well. I mean, there's not even like rumors from Giannis's camp that he's trying to move on.
He's exploring options is the only rumors we've gotten from Shams.
And that was a month ago.
That was a month ago.
Yeah, so like I'm not seeing any smoke to this Giannis really wants to go thing. So when Doc says that, I'm buying it. That's for real.
Molly?
I'm going to say for real as well. And I think that he knows that Giannis is staying. I think he knows something that we don't. And I am, unless you're going to play another clip that's going to make me change my mind, I am 99.9% sure that Giannis is staying in Milwaukee.
I'm with you on that until the deadline, at least, the trade deadline.
Which is when?
I believe that's February.
Yeah, I think it's like,
in the NBA.
yeah.
So, I mean, if this team is a disaster and whatever they thought they were going to build doesn't look viable, I think at that point you could see him go. All right, let's hear the next one.
All right, guys, then after that, they talked a little bit more about the NBA in general and about the weak Eastern Conference and the Bucks' ability to compete in said conference.
I don't think there's a team. We were worried about Denver, but they let a lot of guys go, and they're not the same. There's no dominant team right now. But we have one of the dominant players. And so we have a shot. And so does the Knicks. And, Boston, we'll see by the end of the year if Tatum can come back. I hated that injury. I hated seeing it. And in the West, too, Oklahoma, let's say if they win it. Clippers, Denver, Lakers.
Minnesota.
Golden State has a full year now with Jimmy.
Yeah.
Shoot. It's wide open. And that will be great for the league.
Molly? Does that sound for real or phony when he says the NBA is wide open for the Bucks?
This is so phony. The only for real thing that he said was saying that they have a dominant player in Giannis. That is the only legit thing that he talked about, because most of those teams that he listed off would have beat the Bucks in the playoffs. And they will if this roster continues to stay looking what it looks like right now, which it looks like it's going to.
Bucks Celtics in the playoffs right now? Give him a chance?
Sure, but I would still have more faith in
no Dame, no
the
Tatum?
Celtics.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, just coaching-wise, all of our team,
coaching-wise, another shot at Doc.
I mean, the Celtics have a pretty damn good coach.
Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah.
He's pretty good for being so young.
True, for being so young.
That's
true.
only because he won a title last year.
Yeah,
let us not
this
forget.
Is the NBA. Coaches get fired after winning like 3 titles, I feel
It's
like.
true. It is true, yeah.
It is weird because he has a great roster, but he's winning with that roster. And, it's one of these things with Doc. It's like, I don't know, this roster stinks, and it's hurt. As far as being wide open, yes, I just don't know if it's wide open for the Bucks. But if you're a coach, I think he truly believes, and let's be honest, he might know that there's something that Horst is working on that'll give the Bucks a fighting chance. When you have a top 3 player, absolutely. The biggest thing that's hurting the Milwaukee Bucks is Dame's injury, because he's not playing and you can't trade him. So now you just have this $60 million albatross around your neck. And that's not what Indiana has. That's not what the top teams have. That's what Boston has, and Boston's shedding salary. Like, the Bucks might be better than Boston next year, but Boston's looking at this opportunity of like, hey, we can't win this year because we don't have Tatum, so maybe we try to trade Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday and Porzingis and reset our roster.
A true gap year.
Yeah, and reset our roster.
So, you never really answered the question, for real or phony?
I will say he's earned
Don't
his
be a
standing.
Bucks fan.
He's earned it. I'm saying he believes it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
that's
think,
for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's being for real. I don't think it's real, but he believes it.
He's misguidedly for real.
Yes.
Matt, what about you?
I think Molly and Jim both made really good points. I think that Doc does believe that as well, but it does not seem as wide open. I could see the East being a little wide open. I think the Cavaliers are going to be good again next year. The Pacers are going to be good again next year. The Celtics might take a step back. I have no idea how the Knicks are going to be. So I think the East is open. I don't think the West is
Matt,
wide open.
We're not asking what you think about the Eastern Conference. Was he for real?
That
or
was for
phony?
real. He believed it.
All right.
That's for real.
That was for real or phony. We had one more cup, but we're going to cut it short because we don't want to cut into Jason Wilde's time.
No.
Jason Wilde coming up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
And as Pella goes into another windup, it's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years.
Pella also provides a free in-home consultation, which includes a no-obligation quote.
That's always a great play because working with one of Pella's design experts is such a wonderful, no-pressure get-together. I know this from experience.
With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the USA, you can get the look you want at a price you can afford.
And there's no reason to wait with this incredible deal going on.
Get no interest and no payment for up to 2 years.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 6/30/2025.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because
welcome.
my point. Well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Am I not allowed to know the word filibustering?
I just didn't see that coming. That's all.
Good. I want to keep you on your toes.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Thrilled to be joined by Jason Wilde. And, Jason, I think you're the person to ask this question. And I believe you're working on a story about ed policy. But what the hell does Mark Murphy do now for the next few weeks? And how's it going, Jason?
First of all, it's good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to be here. And by the way, I'd like to think of myself as Jim, Matt, and Molly's binky. That security binky that you guys need from time to time, much like Jared Goff and much like Jordan Love. I thought your commentary, which we played on our show today, I thought you were fantastic. I thought it was great.
Thank you. I didn't know you played it. I asked Ryan to send it, but yeah, great.
Yeah, maybe a little more aggressive than necessary, but that's on brand.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I got a tattoo somewhere that says more aggressive than necessary.
Yeah, that's very fair. So great to be with you. Thrilled to be here. Yes, I'll be honest with you. I was late to join Matt and Molly on Friday because we had this sit down with Ed Policy, and there were a bunch of us there. And then our conversations were embargoed because they couldn't have everybody do it at once. So then they had electronic media do a separate one. So just in fairness to everybody, we could we had to hold on to it until I think 4 o'clock was the witching hour. And I'll be honest with you, I really wanted to see, because Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, Rob Tomofsky of ESPN.com, and I had a conversation after we were done with the on the record portion. Then we had pizza and people had beer. It was great.
Awesome.
And some cookies, which I was much more interested in than the beer. But we kind of talked about it, and then we had some time with Ed just off the record, kind of going back and forth, and I was able to voice my opinion on shareholders not getting anything of value from their shares, and having been a season ticket holder myself, with my grandparents having bought season tickets for the games in Milwaukee in the 1940s at State Fair Park. I got to talk to him about my kind of background. I've known him for a long time, but never talked to him in depth about that. So it was great. But we all knew what the news story was going to be coming out of it, and it's what I'm writing right now for Channel3000.com, and that is, basically confirmation that the head coach and the general manager have 2 years left on their contracts, this year and 2026. And Ed flat out said that he doesn't like having guys be in lame duck years. He thinks it's a problem. So and while he didn't rule out doing it, he made it very clear that is a kind of a last resort deal. And I know he knew when he was saying that what that means, because we all knew, in terms of the reporting group, that there's 2 years left on these deals. These are traditionally 4-year deals. They signed them in 22. They had time left on their existing deals. They're going to be up after the 26th season. And so if you don't want lame duck status, then this is a pivotal season for the head coach and the GM. And while I don't think they're on like an inferno of a hot seat, if I'm going to be the guy who's coming on your show and KBN and Homer and all the other shows that I appear on saying what a pivotal year it is for Jordan Love and for the 3 offensive linemen and the wide receivers and Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, then I damn well better be able to admit it's a pretty pivotal season for the GM and the coach. Mm-hmm. So, if they struggle with a new president in charge, I'm very curious, do they only get 1 year added onto their contracts instead of new 4-year deals? Does he give them 4-year deals anyway? Or somehow would they move on from them both? Like, these are real questions. And I wanted to read how aggressively, kind of like you, Rob and Matt wrote it, because I'm not an alarmist. I generally try to be very kind of measured, and I did not want to come off as saying that we're on DEFCON 1 with the coach and the GM. But at the same time, I do think it's very important to acknowledge that while it's a crucial year for all these players, it's also a crucial year for each of them, and that's how I'm writing it on Channel3000.com.
So, Jason, over the last 30 years, the Packers have really just been that team that's always relevant, and Mark Murphy took pride in that. Is Ed's policy going to be the same, or is he going to go all in at some point?
I'm sure he's never heard that one.
He definitely started with Ed policy and worked his way backwards to a question, by the way.
Absolutely. No, that was a real question, though.
I know, but you started with, how can I get Ed policy in, and then make that a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all know his game. We're familiar with his game. Look, I would say a couple things. First of all, and I just typed this sentence, actually, that Ed policy comes off as thoughtful and incisive. He does not strike me as a knee-jerk guy or a guy that's going to come in and say, hey, I'm in charge now. I want my people in charge of the football operation. I want to put my stamp on this, right? One of the hallmarks of this franchise has been its stability, right? Ron Wolf, obviously the Mike Sherman GM era was not a great idea. Mike Sherman was a pretty damn good head coach until that final season in 2005 when everything went to hell because he was stripped of the GM job. Ted came in and then drafted Favre's replacement. So, Tausch was on that team. He knows full well what a train wreck that was. But then we had Mike McCarthy here for, 12 years plus 12 games? And then now Matt LaFleur is going into year 7. The GMs from Ron to Ted to now Goody in year 8, like there's been a lot of stability. And so this is a team that believes that there's value in that, and I think the organization is right. So, again, I don't want to make it sound like Ed Policy is coming in and saying there's a new sheriff in Titletown, and I'm a delicate genius who has a policy that means these guys need to be in a Super Bowl, I'm going to can them. But at the same time, I mean, I just feel like, and I hate this because, I was saying to Wooly before I came on, like, Rob and Matt, they certainly get feedback on social media if they choose to see it. And I know Matt does radio. But, like, I'm on the radio every day. I got the YouTube comments. I got the social media. I got callers. We got texts on the Carbless Talking text line. Like, I'm amazed at how many people think I'm a Jordan Love hater. Fortunately, Jordan Love doesn't think that. That's why I'm the only one he talked to at the AmFam Championship. But my point is that, I don't want to make this sound like more than it is, but at the same time, it's not nothing. And anytime there's leadership changes, like there's going to be on July 25th when Ed takes over, and look, he's running the show. Like he told us, Mark Murphy basically, after the draft, turned it over to him. So he's on the ramp to being the full-time, I'm the boss. But anytime there's changes, we cannot rule out any possibilities, and that is especially true when the contract situations. Because here's the thing to remember, and then I'll stop rambling. When Bob Harlan turned things over to Mark Murphy, before he did that, he signed both Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy to contract extensions. So they had 4 years of, hey, we got a new president, but if he wants to do something different, he's going to have to eat a heck of a lot of money to do it. And this is why it's germane, and credit to Rob Domofsky for pointing this out because I had forgotten this. Mark Murphy didn't do that on his way out the door. And that is also an important point to keep in mind.
Jason, just based on your conversation that you had with Ed Policy, sorry, my mouth is still numb from going to the dentist, so I'm stuttering a little bit. Why
did you have to go to the dentist?
Sydney
had to go to the dentist today, too.
I had a cavity, so I had to get 4 Novocaine shots in my mouth, and now I'm still swollen. But...
Oh. Well, that's way worse than Sydney, who had a popcorn kernel, or husk or whatever, stuck. And, like, I said, her and Paula eat popcorn, like, every night. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, floss, bro. Come on. You got to be ready for this sort of thing. It's been in there for like 2 days. Anyway.
Yeah. Wait, so she went to the dentist to get like a kernel pulled out?
Yeah, it can get like in your gum.
Out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Underneath the tooth, in the gum. Yeah. Yeah, so be careful out there, kids, when you're eating that popcorn.
Gross.
All right, sorry, Molly, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All good. So based on your conversation that you had with Ed Policy, do you have any inkling of what the Packers as a team need to do in order to secure LaFleur and Gutekunst spots? Like, do they need to win 2 playoff games? Do they need to get to the NFC Championship? What are you thinking?
Yeah, great question. And sorry for interrupting it. Look, I don't think that there's a magic formula. And look, I also think it's really important, like, if we're going to have this conversation, we have to quote him accurately on some of the good stuff that he said, right? He said of LaFleur and Goody and Russ Ball, who is their contract guy and their executive VP, director of football ops, you've got 3 exceptional people doing an exceptional job right now and working well together. I feel very good about all 3 of those individuals. I love them. I trust them. I respect them. I have terrific relationships, both working and personal, with them. Okay? So, again, if we're trying to do this in a fair and balanced way, we can't leave that quote out and say, "Oh, they're on the hot." It's a crucial season for them, because Ed Policy did not say, "Yeah, I don't know about these guys," or "I don't really know them all that well." I mean, he's been in the building now for 13 years, so I don't know if there's they got to win 11 games and they got to reach the divisional round for them to secure extensions. But I do think that, like, we spent so much time, and I hated this, and I still blame Dan Orlovsky more than anyone else, on the regression thing. And I don't want to swear on the radio. I don't give a blank about whether you consider it a step back, a regression, not enough advancement, not enough growth, whatever you want to call it, injuries and drop passes only, and he's still star-spangled awesome. The bottom line is it is a critical year for Jordan Love. He's got to play like a franchise-level quarterback. And whatever that looks like, I don't think you can tie it just to, you got to win a playoff game or else. So I don't think it's fair to do that to Jordan. I don't think it's fair to do that to Goody and LaFleur. But if they do regress, let's say they go 8-9 and miss the playoffs, there are going to be conversations that maybe, a year ago, coming off of beating Dallas in Dallas and having San Francisco on the ropes and the franchise quarterback that they went on to pay $55 million a year to, if it was like that off season now, I don't even know. They'd probably have extensions already, but they lost their last 3. They were unimpressive in Philly. You heard Matt LaFleur talking about how sloppy they were down the stretch offensively. So if they were to go 8-9, I think we'd be having a conversation that would be uncomfortable for some.
And, to that, I think every team, except for the Bears because they only won 5 games last year, every team in the North is probably going to take a few wins backwards. They're playing a tougher, on paper, division in the AFC South. Mm-hmm. But going into this year, the question du jour for ESPN Wisconsin was off of ESPN. That's where the clip of me referencing Matt LaFleur and Binky and all of that.
Your
with Jared
little
Goff.
nookie.
Yes, nookie or Binky or whatever it is.
Is that not a terrible term, by the way? Nookie? Like, come on.
We call it a moo-moo in our house. Is that weird?
A moo-moo?
I just think of
Limp
Bizkit. There's a song. I did it all for the nookie.
Yeah.
I think that's a different type of nookie.
Yeah,
I know. That's why it's weird to use it in this phrase. So that's why I don't use it like that.
I personally wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
Nookie is what leads to you needing a binky
Yeah, exactly.
for your child.
Yes, exactly. If you do it all for the nookie, you're going to need a binky.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your little nookie.
But that's not what I was going to ask. So to the quarterback question, I said it was Jordan Love who has the most pressure. 1, the money, 2, the lineage in Green Bay. But also, like, if everyone goes out, and every quarterback in the NFC North goes out and throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, Jordan Love's going to be looked at the worst in that group. And so, like, that's when, like, if you just went out and they all won 9 games and they all put up those same numbers, Jordan Love's going to have the least amount of shine after that season. That was one way I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair? Because Jared Goff, he won with, yes, now McVay's an elite play caller, so is Ben Johnson, but Jared Goff has won with multiple offenses and multiple coaches. Caleb Williams, he just has to prove that coaching was the problem last year. J.J. McCarthy has to be a caretaker this year. But Jordan Love, because of being a Packer, because of all the money he's getting paid, he kind of has to take that step into elite. If he stays at his level, which I think is good, like we know his floor, it's a good floor, I feel like, to your point, it's going to not look great for him or the Packers because he got that big contract right away.
Yeah, I agree, right? They're all at different places. While all 4 of them, as discussed in the roundtable, are on ESPNWisconsin.com and ESPN.com, are all in places that there's some measure of have to prove something. They're all in different spots. And I thought when you articulated that, you did a really good job of it because Jared Goff has won. He hasn't won the big one, and that's the big question that Eric Woodyard brings up. Can he actually win a Super Bowl? Because he's won a lot of games. He's coming off a best year of his career. But again, he went to a Super Bowl with another team that basically traded him away because they realized we're not going to win the big one with him. So he's got that to prove. We know J.J. McCarthy is a first-year starter. We know, obviously, Caleb Williams, his rookie season with the dysfunction down there. Now he's got his binky, his nookie, and it's time for him to perform at a higher level. And what you said about Love is true. Again, I don't think Jordan Love is a substandard quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he is a franchise quarterback, most likely, But I don't know if he's an MVP caliber quarterback, a multi-time All-Pro or Pro Bowl quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, or a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, the one line that I'm proud of when we have this debate is there's a difference between we can win with him and we win because of him. And they can win with him. I do think that they can win a Super Bowl with him at quarterback. I don't know if he's proven that they would win a Super Bowl because he's their quarterback. And maybe he'll prove that this year, and that's my frustration, is that to say that, I just don't see that as a harsh criticism. I think that is a realistic view of where he stands heading into year 3 as a starter.
Jason, with all the Jair talk that we had leading up to these last couple weeks, is there any details what the Packers actually offered him? Because we hear talks. Was it Jair's dad that said they basically wanted him to play for free? What was the deal? Is there any details on it?
That?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's up with that? Some might say. Yeah, exactly. Look, I don't know for certain. I know what certain people have said. Again, Goody kind of implied that there was never a firm offer on the table. And I'm not here to judge Mr. Alexander, but I would say, his idea of what is truly an offer, I think there was a report that there was an offer on the table. Like, you envision then a stack of papers that outline the contract, and then you can either sign it with a pen sitting next to it or turn it down. I don't think it ever got to that, but I'm sure that the money they were talking about, look, the bottom line is, the Packers did not want to have him on this team at his scheduled salary, and we're not going to guarantee him money based on his track record. So they were basically going to have to decide, look, are we going to commit to this guy and get burned again potentially, or are we going to move on? Because he was not restructuring his contract for them, and he wasn't restructuring it for a trade. So I'm sure that both Jair and his dad and his agent were just frustrated that it took so damn long for him to end up exactly where he probably should have ended up from the jump, since they knew that. I will just say this, and I know you guys are late on time now because I've been babbling, but they did this with Jordy Nelson, right? They offered him a 1-year, $2 million deal in 2018, and he was willing to take it because he wanted to play with Rodgers and Devontae Adams one last year and then retire, and his wife wanted to stay here. And it was Rodgers and Adams who were like, Jordy, you can't take this. This is 1/5 of what you're worth. It turned out to be 1/7 of what he was worth. He got $14 million from the Raiders. So, the Packers do like to make offers that are, I don't want to call them insulting, but easy to turn down. So then they have the plausible deniability to say, hey, we made him an offer. He chose not to take it, right?
Yep.
So, again, I am just, I'd be lying, Matt, if I didn't say I'm just glad that saga is over. So if his dad could leave the fatherly quotes to Christian Watson's dad, that would be great.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for hopping on with us.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Matt, before we get out, tell us about what Leinenkugels you were enjoying today.
Oh, my gosh. I can't. I wish I could have said I had multiple Leinenkugels because they have so many great flavors. Unfortunately, I'm missing them all right now. The juicy peach, the lakeside cherry, the delicious shandies, whether it's the lemon shandy or there's the grapefruit shandy. You can't go wrong with Leinenkugels because they've got a flavor for every moment. Brewed here in Wisconsin with the German-inspired brewing traditions, Leinenkugels, one of the best beers around. So if you need a beer to flavor every moment, get Leinenkugels wherever you get your delicious beers. And remember, you got to be 21 years or older to enjoy.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
But I've never seen the movie either.
I've only seen the
Really?
Yeah, I had no interest in the movie.
Oh my gosh, the movie is terrible. Terribly awesome. Did you just touch my butt, Dewey? I know your tricks, Dewey. What? I quote that all the time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Facing it head on, Wisconsin football's 2025 schedule, a brutal one. Former Badger Alec Ingold believing this is what Bucky needs. His take on how Bucky can benefit during an appearance on the Jump Around, a Badger dedicated show.
It reminds me of our 2016 year. The boys came together, we became a team, and you make a run to the Cotton Bowl. Not saying that that's my prediction for the year, but I'm saying like as a team coming together, all the guys kind of buying in. Being the underdog is a great thing for Wisconsin football. It's going to take 1 year to just rejuvenate everything. And
what a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. VFW State Adjutant Adam Wallace.
Local is always important because we want to engage with our community and support local businesses. You know, we are local to Madison and they are too.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. The benefit?
The benefit is having reliable equipment, having a reliable way to print documents.
James Imaging Systems, local service you just can't get anywhere else.
The customer service is great, and if an issue, when it rarely arises, they're very quick to fix it.
That's another benefit for the VFW.
It's just one less thing that we need to worry about as an organization.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Get your dial-in fingers ready, 844-770-3776, because we are giving away 4 tickets, 1 pack of 4 tickets to one winner to Morgan Wallen on Sunday, June 29th at Camp Randall. Caller number, let's say 2? Caller number 2 wins 4 tickets to Morgan Wallen on Sunday, June 29th at Camp Randall. And remember, if you want to get tickets to Morgan Wallen, great seats are still available at uwbadgers.com. It's uwbadgers.com. Caller number 2 wins 4 tickets right now to see Morgan Wallen at Camp Randall on June 29th. 844-770-3776. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I should say what the name of our show is. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, and we are presented by Coors Light. Our Siding Unlimited poll question is, how many games will the Brewers win against the Cubs? 844-770-3776. That's the Carbs Talking text line. How many games will the Brewers win against the Cubs? We'll talk about that next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. The biggest series of the season, some are saying, about the Brewers versus Cubs this week. It's the second meeting of the I-94 rivalry this year, and the Brewers just avoided getting swept last time when they met at AmFam Field at the end of May. Milwaukee now stands alone for second place in the NL Central standings this time around after vaulting ahead of the Cardinals this past weekend. Brewers still 5.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs, however. First pitch from Wrigley Field is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Central Time tonight. Rookie right-hander Chad Patrick slated to start for the Brew Crew. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Also, watch tonight's game locally in Madison live on WISC TV. Over for the Packers' new incoming president, Ed Policy, spoke to reporters late last week. Rob Domofsky has more over at ESPN.com about the management beliefs and how he'll handle Coach Matt LaFleur and GM Brian Gutekunst's contract extensions moving forward. Second half, Jim, Matt, and Molly, starting right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me. I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
And then contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, it's Murr.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Chrissy Birdsall with us as well. Primetime War shine behind the glass. You can stream the show on the ESPN Wisconsin app. If you missed Jason Wilde, you can listen back to that. You also can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well. And I want to get right to the Brewers because we're going to do some Brewers-related content for most of this hour here as the Brewers come up to take on the Cubs. Pregame starts at 6:29, 7:05 first pitch. You can watch the game on WISC TV in Madison, thanks to your good friends here at Good Karma Brands, a partnership we made with the Milwaukee Brewers. So you can watch that on local TV tonight, but you also can listen here on ESPN Madison, your home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. The Brewers 39-34, Cubs 44-28. No matter what happens in the series, the Brewers will not overtake the Cubs for first place, but they could take the series lead over the Cubs. Joe Naboonies, who tweeted at me, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, the Brewers got a little frisky, and I said they'll pass the Cardinals, and they have. So he pointed out that the Brewers are now coming up in the, because he put a tweet out with the Brewers in the rearview mirror of the Cubs, and I said, well, you got to pass the Cardinals before you
gotcha. Yep.
get to be in my rearview mirror. You are in the rearview mirror. I'm not worried for the overall season, but right now the Cubs are very injured, as they're missing their one starting pitcher for the entire season, an all-star pitcher. He went out early. But then Shota, who I'm not going to try to butcher his last name, he was an all-star pitcher last year. He's been out for the last 2 months. He's on his way back in about 2 weeks. And they've also missing 2 or 3 of their bullpen arms. So the Cubs are injured at this moment. I still think they're better than the Brewers.
Mark the excuses.
No, I'm still
Mark it, Ryan.
I still think the Cubs are going to win 2 out of 3, but I feel more confident
But they
that they're
would
going
have
to win
won
the
3 out of 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So it's an excuse for dropping 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I do think that the Cubs are still a better team. Do you not want context or not, like, for the games?
Oh no, I'm not saying.
Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that.
Teams dealing with injury. We still don't have Woodruff.
We're just saying
Yeah,
you're
but you
moving the
never had him.
goalposts.
You're not getting him. Like, who knows when you're getting him back?
You never had your guy who's not out all season.
Well, that's why I said I didn't bring up him. But the other guys I brought up, Shota is coming back and played already this year, and they've got other bullpen arms coming back. So I really was referencing the guys who are going to be playing this year.
Woodruff's coming back.
Is he?
Well, I mean, as long as he doesn't
Took
get
a ball to the elbow.
as long
my
as he
guy.
doesn't get a comebacker again, like you should be able to get back into this.
And what is he coming back as? I'm rooting for him because it's a sad. I mean, it's just a bummer how injured he's been. But he's an off-injured pitcher who got
20 months or something.
He's and he's an off-injured pitcher who got injured in his rehab. Like the signs don't point to Woodruff being some sort of.
but the time that he got injured in his rehab was such a fluke.
He's just but it's unlucky. He's just
it was
unlucky
literally
guy.
his last day of rehab, and then he gets hit in the elbow.
But my point is, like, he's an unlucky guy. It's not his fault. Like, I just feel like some of these guys, these pitchers, like I saw with the Cubs, Kerry Wood was elite. He was always hurt. Mark Pryor, so good when they played. Ben Sheets with the Brewers, so good when they played. But the power arms, sometimes they're just always hurt. And it's just unfortunate. It's not anything they're doing wrong. And I think Woodruff's one of those guys. Every team has those guys that throw hard that are just hurt. That's why the Brewers are so careful with Big Miz. The guys that throw hard are the most.
Big Miz? Now he's Big Miz.
He's always been Big Miz.
The Miz.
6'7".
I thought it was Big Miz.
No, I mean,
The
I like
Miz.
Big Miz, though, because The Miz is in the WWE, so I'm good
I
with
thought
Big
it was
Miz.
Big Miz.
It's the Big Biz, Jim.
Big
The Big
Biz?
Biz.
If you're listening, remember our Sports Center from last Friday?
That was
the Big
Ryan
Biz.
totally stuttering.
The Big Biz.
You sound like Porky Pig.
My mama said.
That's all, folks.
So
The Big Miz, I like the Big Miz.
I do, too. I think it's unique.
6'7", and he is like 200,
But he's not big.
200
That's the
pounds
thing.
dripping wet, you'd say?
Yeah, I think he's 197.
6'7" is big.
No, big, tall,
Yeah.
yes, but he's not like big.
But also like on a ball.
He's not girthy.
Sometimes long works, sometimes girthy works. Ideally both, but like
Take that
a
for
pitcher
that.
for long-term success, someone who has the stamina to go for 200 innings over the course of a season, is someone that would be tall. and-
Flop.
You are floppy now.
Oh my gosh.
You got flop
Was that a
sweat.
fat joke?
No, Matt's got flop sweat.
You guys are making me uncomfortable. I'm a nut.
Making you sweat?
You
200
guys.
innings.
What is that? Like 20 minutes? Like,
What?
Gatorade involved? Like, all right.
You need an IV from Carbon after
Yeah.
that. Oh my
Gatorade
God.
bath.
Especially if you're bringing it at 102 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Need a lot of Zoe energy for that.
For
Oh, my
sure.
goodness.
Yes, you do need a lot of Zoe energy for
You
that.
do
Molly
need
Brown.
a lot of Zoe energy for that. And I need a lot of Zoe energy because I got a lot of damn kids up in the zoo, okay? We've talked about my zoo. Back at home, I have 5 kids. Ryan, you're laughing at this. I need energy to get through my days with my kids, okay? I get home, I got to play with them the whole time before they go to bed, but what gets me through it is my Zoa Energy, and I love that it's packed with natural ingredients, including B and C vitamins. It has electrolytes, potassium, and magnesium. 160 milligrams caffeine in this can. It's empty. You can't even hear me drink it. Zoa Energy, go pick up some Zoa for yourself. Find it at zoaenergy.com. This is Jim at Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Vote every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, "Hey, how'd you pull this off?" Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, you know, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
No sleep till!
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Chrissy Birdsall with us as well. Primetime or Shine Behind the Glass. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, and you can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We have decided as a show and this does correlate. We are cooking the cooking or cooked segment for now. I think we overcooked it.
It's cooked.
We're back burnering
something that would never happen at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. When they're cooking something, it's never overcooked. It is cooked to perfection, whether it is a sizzling steak or the sizzle, swizzle, and swirl happy hour. Go say hi to Lee and Kevin and the whole team over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We are going to try a game that's pretty tried and true. It's a little bit closer to how we used to play Tinder Time, but I was informed we played Tinder Time wrong because obviously in Tinder you're not putting two people against each other, apparently.
No, it's not a contest.
Not a contest. You just see someone and you swipe directionally. So now we're going to play a game of Would You Rather. And we're going to play it around the Cubs and Brewers positionally. We don't have to do specifically the lineup today, but we're just going to kind of run through the positions and would you rather have Michael Busch, for an example, or Rhys Hoskins. That's at the first base position. So we're going to get into that in a minute. We don't have an open. We're going to kind of beta test this to see how it works, but we're going to debut right now Would You Rather on ESPN Madison. Now, Ryan, do you have these names up, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, I thought you had them, Jim.
I can do it off the top of my head, but...
Do it. Rip them off.
I don't have everyone's stats, so you're just like this is the problem.
I can help. I got.
Okay, because I don't know what they're going to pick there. So Michael Busch, starter for the Chicago Cubs at first base, or Rhys Hoskins, starter for the Brewers for the most part at first base. Would you rather Rhys Hoskins or Michael Busch on your team?
Do I pick whose name I like better? How do I go about this?
I don't know. I mean, we knew you were playing this. You could have at least.
Just
Michael Busch is hitting .265 with 11 home runs, 39 RBI.
Sounds good. Give me
and
Busch.
Rhys Hoskins has 10 home runs, 37 RBIs, and is hitting .245.
I said Busch.
All right.
You got Rhys? What? Are you picking two, Jim?
No, I'm going to let you guys pick.
I mean, statistically, it's Busch. He's having a better... Barely. They're close. They're almost the same player.
They are. That one is very close. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Matt, why don't you or Ryan, you guys work on the Brewer ones. I'll have the Cubs players ready to go.
Okay, I got the Brewers up.
Second base, it's Nico Horner for the Chicago Cubs.
And Bryce Terang.
Bryce Terang. Both of them are pretty elite fielders. I think both of them have Gold Gloves in their careers so far. Nico could have won one last year. He missed some time. But this year, for the best, so for context, I would say they're equal fielders. And then you have... Batting-wise for Nico, he is hitting .288. He is not a power hitter, so he's hitting .288 with 29 RBI, and I don't know what else stat is kind of really
home
tied
run.
in.
You got home run there?
He's probably got like 2 for the year. I can look that up. He's not a.
Neither is Bryce.
He has no home runs this year.
Okay.
His WAR is 2.6.
So Bryce Terang has 4 home runs.
Okay.
He's 26 RBIs, so close but not quite as many, and he's batting a little bit worse at .265.
Gimme Terang.
Gimme Terang. I want them dingers.
All right, I'm gonna take Nico Horner in that one as well. All right, let's go shortstop. This is actually super easy. We don't have to give Joey a tease. He is terrible.
He's a great fielder, but a bad batter.
And Dansby Swanson is also a great fielder, but he is hitting .243, 13 home runs, 38 RBI. So
2 home runs, 10 RBIs, and batting .187.
Whoa, way below the Mendoza
Joey
line.
Ortiz. Yep, yeah, he is. So we'll go with the Cubs guy.
So it's called, right?
Yep.
This one is going to be
well,
very...
the way Ryan looked at me, I got nervous.
Because your face is drooping a little.
Oh, you just look like you're having a stroke.
I heard Mendoza line.
She had Novocaine shots in her mouth for people that weren't around earlier.
Good save there, Matt. This one's going to be very similar as well as the first base with Rhys Hoskins and Michael Busch. Matt Shaw or Caleb Durbin? Matt Shaw is hitting .228 with 2 home runs. He's only had 145 at-bats. I'm not sure how many at-bats Durbin has had.
163.
Okay, so close enough. I don't know what kind of fielder Durbin is. I know Shaw is a really good third baseman, but he's not hitting much of anything. So give me your numbers.
From what I have heard, and this is based purely off what I hear listening to the Brewers, Durbin's really fast, which is part of the reason Murphy really liked him. And obviously hard worker. His numbers... similar, 221, 2 home runs, 22 RBIs. I said Caleb Durbin's my guy, so I'm going to go with Caleb Durbin, but I totally understand if you're going to go the other way.
I'll go Shaw.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah, it's very close. I'll go Shaw because I'm just going to be a homer on it. So,
okay.
But, I mean, Durbin is a good, solid player. All right, now we're going to go to the DH position, essentially, which is Christian Yelich for the most part.
Yep.
And then Seiya Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki is hitting .261 with 17 home runs, 58 RBI. So that's Suzuki wins that one.
Yeah, he's got Yelich in every stat.
How many home runs does Yelich have?
14, leading the team.
He's batting, what, 230?
239, 43 RBIs, and 14 home runs.
So 40 spots below, 40 batting average points below Suzuki.
Damn.
All right, give me another outfielder you want to put up against Ian Happ. Do you want to do Sal Frelick so you can have a win?
That's fun.
What position is he in? Is he a right fielder, center fielder?
So Ian Happ is left fielder.
He's left fielder?
So who do you want to
That
put?
would be against Collins today.
Yeah, Isaac Collins, who Ian Happ wins.
Yeah, or Cameron. Yeah, that's a
We
win.
could just say Ian Happ wins.
All right, yeah, Ian Happ wins. All right, let's do the other corner outfielder, Kyle Tucker
versus Sal
Frelick.
This one will be interesting.
Give me Sal.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the name better.
You can give us stats if you
Sal
want.
is batting 294, 26 RBIs, and 4 home runs. RBIs, I'm sorry, RBI.
All righty. Give me a second here because I want to get the proper WAR. So Sal Frelick's WAR is 1.4. Kyle Tucker's is 2.9. He has 13 home runs, 277, 43 RBI, and 18 stolen bases.
It's got Sal in every category.
I think, did Tucker win an MVP
Only
already?
14 stolen bases for Sal.
I believe he was an MVP finalist. He might have won an AL MVP with the Astros.
He did.
I think he might have won one.
No. Yes. No, he did not. No, sorry. No. All-Star.
I think he was like top
three-time
two.
finalist, yeah.
Yeah, three-time finalist.
All right, then the other one is going to be a slam dunk for the Cubs there, too. But Pete Crow Armstrong.
PCA.
Yep. Do you want to give me...
I'll take Jackson Churio.
Not even thinking. Unconscious Matt Hamilton.
I'm a nut.
His mom was in Angels in the outfield.
So Pete Crow Armstrong is hitting 268 with 18 home runs, 57 RBI, and has 23 stolen bases. He might be a 20-20 guy before the All-Star break. 2020 is a good landmark for baseball.
20 home runs, 20 stolen bases.
Yes.
And then
Jackson Churio is a second-half player. He's waiting until after the All-Star break.
He's
to really
like Jordan
turn it
Love
up.
of baseball.
What are his pre-All-Star break stats?
He has 12 home runs, 43 RBI, 13 stolen bases, and his batting average is 260.
You're saying Jackson Churio is a second-half player. So last year he played an entire season. His WAR for the entire season, wins above replacement, when you account for all the games the entire year, was 3.8. Pete Crow Armstrong, so far this season, is 4.
I mean, it's so early.
They don't go backwards.
He could fall off.
They
Yeah,
only
they do.
add. So Pete Crow Armstrong, halfway through this season, is better than Jackson Churio's season last year, which was a very good season.
I'll take Jackson Churio.
Just
Better
because I like
name.
his name.
Homer.
And it's a
Future.
way tastier dessert.
Spell Churio without looking.
What is a
I already
PCA
looked at it.
dessert?
I'm sorry.
What is a PCA dessert?
I don't know. It sounds awful, though.
What's
Crow?
PCA's name?
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pete
It was
Crow
a test for
Armstrong.
Matt.
I thought
Because
you were
I
trying
knew
to
he
think of-
wasn't going to know it.
Yeah. What did we say? Cardinal Alexander?
like he's like the new Pope.
Yeah,
I know
that's
the
what I was
Pope is
thinking.
from
He's a
Chicago,
White Sox fan.
but he's a White Sox fan.
Patrick Cardinal Alexander.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Goodness.
Yay.
All right. How do we want to do the pitch? I'm just going to give you the names for the pitching staff here.
We could just do the 3 matchups throughout the week.
Okay. All right. Ben Brown versus Chad Patrick.
Ben Brown's got a better name. I'll give him that.
I've heard the name Ben Brown
and
more.
Jim, you rattled off Ben
So
Brown's stats
I didn't
against the
share
Brewers.
this. I didn't share this on the air. Ben Brown elite against the Brewers. He's got a 0 ERA, a WHIP under .45. So he has been dominating against the Brewers. The only team he's been good against consistently this year. So all right, the next one: Jameson Taillon or Jake Mizorowski.
The Miz. Yeah, give me the Miz.
The Big Biz.
Yeah, he's gonna have a bunch of misery for the Cubs.
I'm gonna go Taillon in that one just because, like, you know, he's
Homer. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know.
probably an all-star this year. And then Kate Horton, who I really like, who's their version of Miz versus Freddie Peralta. I got to give that one to Freddie.
Yeah, thank you, Freddie Peralta.
$8 million Freddie.
Soon to be gone, Freddie Peralta. There's a lot of reports like, "Hey, I want to play for the Brewers." We're like, "Cool, we're not gonna pay you."
Yeah.
So, if you want to play for free, then
Hey,
it's
just
us.
think about how many people are having a good time at AmFam Field.
Hey.
Like, that's worth it.
He might not be gone anytime soon. They still got another team option on him for next year. They got him on a sweetest of sweetheart
Yeah,
deals.
that's crazy.
Yeah, but is that the last year?
That is the last
So
year.
like that's when
2026 is.
like this is the classic Brewers. They got Miz coming. Like
Yeah.
I know Game Night's had this
True.
idea that the Brewers could have the best staff in baseball, and they might for like a month or two. But like what's going to happen is like Next year, Quintana, who's older, he's just not. It was a 1-year deal. They're not going to bring him back. Then you got Miz, who will come up, and then you have Patrick, and maybe Priester is something. I don't know.
Nestor Cortez will still be on the roster.
Nestor Cortez, but then you'll just move out Peralta, and you'll just continue to cycle through to the next young player.
That's how they
do it. If the
it.
Brewers were willing to spend an extra $15 to $20 million a year, they could be a team that consistently competes for a World Series.
Would you guys be upset if Freddie Peralta ended up down in Wrigley Field?
Yes.
Craig Counsell was his manager. He brought him Drew Pomerantz, who pitched for the Brewers a few years ago. He's doing great for the Cubs. So he's brought in some guys who have ties to the Brewers. And if he knows them from the Brewers, he will bring them in.
Which, why wouldn't you?
Right.
Yeah.
But those are like fringe players. Which if we bring in a guy like Peralta, that's even easier.
Peralta would probably be more like a $20 million guy if the Cubs
Peralta, now to your point,
which they might. I mean, I'm not sure. You would know better, Jim. Like, do you think that they would spend big money on a free agent pitcher like that?
It depends on his age. But here's the thing, they won't do it. I mean, it would be another year, so it just kind of matters where they fall in their winning cycle and what they're... The Cubs are annoying it. Like, they spend money, but they still keep a budget. They should spend like the Dodgers and like the Yankees and the Red Sox. But
the Red Sox
the Red Sox keep a budget too. So the Yankees and the Dodgers, that's how the Cubs should spend. The Cubs still want to have positive operating cash flow, even if it's like $1,000. So they spend a lot of money, but they still could spend a lot more. So it's always obnoxious. So to answer your question, possibly. Depends when like the other guys, like Talian's contract comes up. They just want to be in this position now where they're not paying too many guys a ton of money. But 2 years from now, because if he's got this year and then next year, whoever team Peralta plays next year, they don't sign him, and then he could make his way.
Could be a very similar Corbin Bird situation.
Yep.
Traded away to the Orioles for a year as a rental and then ends up on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
But if he signed in free agency with the Cubs, I mean, it does make a lot of sense. It would be brutal, though, for most Brewers fans.
Yeah, but I mean, Brewer fans are used to that. I mean, Adames obviously...
Not with the Cubs, though.
True, not with the Cubs, but Adames, like, guys leave all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Adames was
I just don't like them
beloved.
going to the Cubs. It's like sending them a Packer to the Bears.
I'm trying
or the
to think
Vikings.
who's the best Brewer to go to the Cubs.
Didn't Gallardo pitch for the Cubs for a while?
But I think that was at the back. Like, that was not a big-time signing.
Guys,
if
it's
it was.
Craig Counsell.
I know.
I mean...
Well, I guess, but I meant like as a player.
Oh, I mean...
Wait, hold on. We didn't even pick managers in this. Murphy or Counsell?
Oh.
Murph.
Counsell. Come on.
Murph.
Counsell is the runaway favorite for manager of the year. He's minus 160 right now. The next closest are the Cardinals and the Giants managers.
Yeah, but who's
both
the
plus
reigning
600.
manager of the year?
Good point.
Are we going? What about the rest of Craig Counsell's resume, where he's been a great manager for his entire career?
I think he's been a multiple-time manager of the year.
Yeah, but he's a flake. Someone's going to offer him a better deal, and he'll just go somewhere else.
You guys are both homers. I think if anything, if this exercise showed anything, it's that I am the least homery that I can just, pick and choose from both sides, but you guys are both homers.
Right. Ryan, I think I did a pretty good job. The
You
Cubs
picked
just are better.
99.9% Cubs, didn't
The
you?
Cubs are. I said some of them are tight, but the Cubs
He
are.
picked Freddie.
They picked Freddie.
Pity Freddie.
The pity Freddie.
Where honestly the two toss-ups? Otherwise, it was clearly the Cubs for all the other ones. Bush and Shaw were the only toss-ups.
Yeah, with
I said in a
Hoskins.
toss-up, I guess I'll go Cubs, but there was no
Exactly.
other.
Kyle Tucker and Frelick were pretty close. Close. It was worth a conversation, but Kyle Tucker deserves
Kyle
it.
Tucker has almost 3 wins for a WAR, and Frelick's hanging around the 1.
True, but better batting average for Frelick. I will say, though, talking about the manager conversation, Pat Murphy does apparently have the reigning manager of the year title over Craig Counsell, because Craig Counsell never won manager of the year.
Oh, really?
He was a 3-time runner-up.
That's crazy.
3-time runner-up in 2018, 2019, and 2021.
Here's the thing. You go win with the Cubs, you'll get that manager of the year. Matt, tell us about Odyssey Brands.
Oh, my gosh. I love Odyssey Brands. Between the feta, the Greek yogurt, and all the fantastic dips, you can't go wrong when you're checking out Odyssey. But the best part about it, it's made locally. You can trust it to 4-generation family owned, locally sourced milk as well. They've won awards on their cheeses. They're just a fantastic company. But like I said, they got the feta, the Greek yogurt dips. I've been doing some of those Greek yogurt dips on the veggies. 10 out of 10 aces, but you can't go wrong with the feta. They got the sweet heat. There's the smoked feta, which I'm really into right now. Reduced fat and regular. Go check out Odyssey. It's the blue and green label. You can't miss it. They're everywhere. You go grocery shopping because they're nationwide, baby. So check out Odyssey Brands.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
It was the nastiest looking hot dog I think I've ever seen in my life. It was like beige with like mustard squirted like in random spots.
It is like a Jackson Pollock painting with the mustard just all over the place. Matt claims to be an Olympic athlete, and he can't properly squeeze out mustard in a straight line.
Yeah, no, not great.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, DoorCountyDistillery.com. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Primetime War Shot behind the glass. Chrissy Birdsall with us in the Everlight Solar Studio as well. You can stream the show on the ESPN Wisconsin app. You can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well. You can chime in on our Siding Unlimited poll question. 844-770-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. But our Siding Unlimited poll question is, how many games will the Brewers win versus the Cubs this week? Right now, 10% of you say 0, 28.6% of you say 1, 26.5% of you say 2, and 34.7% of you say sweep. So there's that.
Sweep them, baby. I'm going to vote for sweep right now.
All right, you do that. Let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, Matt, what's your stone?
Yeah, so big change of pace today. I came in with a stone because there's something that directly relates kind of to me in sports and curling sometimes. In the NBA Finals, Tyrese Halliburton got injured, played through it, had 0 field goals with the injury, right? Didn't make a basket. Ofer. But he told the media after that, and I quote, "If I can walk, I can play." So my question is that being a good teammate or is that being a bad teammate? Is that leadership or is that being selfish / misguided?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean...
And where do you feel as a fan if your favorite player or your best player is injured?
So I just heard this somewhere, but Jeff Van Gundy, when former Knicks coach, former coach in the NBA, he did this. He used to say this on the broadcast, that as a broadcaster, if you're playing, I'm judging you, that you better be the version of you always are. That's what I'm judging you against. Because if you go down that court, if I'm a coach, I want you to go play how you play or don't be out there. And as a broadcaster, if you're out there, injured or not, I'm judging you on how are you playing at the moment, injured or not. So Halliburton going out there, man, I get what he's saying, but like I think as a leader and as the driving force for this team, like the Pacers are going to lose by 20 if Halliburton doesn't play because he makes the whole thing go. So I think he has to at least go out there and try, because in this specific situation, like in a regular season game or maybe earlier, but like you have gotten the team to the finals. You are the heart and soul of this team. You make the whole thing go. So in his specific case, he's got to go out and give it a try just for the mental part of this team, saying like, hey, our leader's out there at least.
So if he goes 0 for 7 in the first quarter, like, where's your head at?
But
Like,
was he missing? Was he missing because he was injured though?
Well,
Like,
here I'm going to give him the
he was
benefit of the
taking
doubt.
some not
calf
great
injury
shit.
is a nasty injury.
I'm going to give him
Try
the
to swallow
benefit
it.
of the doubt on it because there was an injury. So he can say whatever he wants. I'm just saying there was on our curling team, we've had guys who've been a little sore, a little tennis elbow, like tendonitis going on. And our argument is like, you don't help us with tendonitis. Like, sure, your vibes are good, and it's like we have team systems, and bringing a new player can throw that off. But at the end of the day, we need you to be able to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Like, vibes don't exclusively win games. And like Halliburton, same situation. Like, the Pacers do their best when Halliburton's putting up 20 or more.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't think he can put up 20, can you be the leader from the bench? Can you still help rally this team and be the leader that you are of this team, but do it from not on the court because you are a detriment to the team when you're on the court, not able to play the game that you're able to play?
So we've talked about him not being a superstar, right? Like, I think he's a leader of the Pacers. Everything obviously revolves around Tyrese Halliburton, but he's not a superstar when it comes to the NBA. But I want to flip this around on you. If this was Giannis saying this, are you saying, Giannis, you get back on the court? Like, you stay on the court because this team is nothing without you?
Well, typically in sports, the way I've had to deal with it, like personally with teammates, is I defer to them. I can't tell them how they're feeling. Now, am I going to be upset if you say you're good and you go out there and it looks like you're 50%? You bet. And I think kind of the same with Giannis. Like, it's a little different in basketball because you can be a decoy, so to speak.
Yeah.
But the Pacers, they need every player on that floor to be able. And I think in this instance, Halliburton can show the type of leader he is by trying to, if he doesn't think he can play, is be that leader from the bench.
All right, what about in football terms? Right? We saw it with Aaron Rodgers a couple years ago.
That at the end
of
Jordan Love, too.
That's exactly where I was going to go, too.
Yeah.
We saw it with Aaron Rodgers a couple years ago with the thumb. We didn't know about the thumb until after the end of the season, where he used it as an excuse as to why he played poorly. Jordan Love last year. He clearly wasn't 100% all season because he got hurt in the very first game against the Eagles. Are you mad that he continued to play?
I do think.
Because he was a detriment in some games. He was.
Yeah, it's first half against the Vikings.
Yes, and then,
Which
Jim brought up
back.
stats just a couple weeks ago saying how bad he was at being a rushing quarterback. He didn't run for anything this year.
Absolutely. And honestly, his arm talent probably does put him over. You got to think about the replacement, too. Is this guy
Malik Willis won all 3 games that he played in. That was his replacement.
That is true.
I'm literally just
you're 100%.
being the devil's advocate.
And that's like kind of the beauty of this question. It's really a feel thing.
Yeah.
There's no like right or wrong answer until the game is over and you can point to something to blame.
You could also throw out the example for, you mentioned Giannis. I mean, he did that in the finals.
Yeah.
It was coming off of that hyperextended knee in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I thought he was done when
and he
that
played
injury
through
happened.
it and it was great.
And it looked like he had torn his ACL. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to defer to the player.
So I think Halliburton, I would imagine there's, like in football, there's a shot that he can get to help this.
Yeah.
I honestly, the bigger concern would be in the year of 2025, the year of blown out Achilles. I'm not messing a lot with a calf.
Yeah.
So that would be one part of it. And then the other, especially the way the Pacers play. But the difference between the curling and basketball is that, like, obviously curling is a team sport, but you're all out there individually doing your specific thing.
Yeah.
In this case, like, the whole
offense goes through.
They're done. Like, if he doesn't play, there's no replacement for him. They will lose, and they will lose badly. So in this specific case, it's like, go out and see what you can do. Just because if you can help your team as a decoy, because he is a passer.
Yeah.
And he didn't take a lot of shots, so he's well aware that he is not healthy. He was 0 for 6, 0 for 4 from 3. He didn't try to take a lot of shots. He still had 7 rebounds and 6 assists. He was not the same player. Defensively is where it might show up more. So, man, I would say it really has to. You just have to. I would go. I guess my answer would be I trust Halliburton.
Because you can't really like put him on the bench for a little bit either. Because once he's loose, you got to keep him out there. Otherwise, he'll tighten up and
you'll
really
probably
risk
see him.
injury.
They'll put a bike over there. They'll do something to like. He'll never relax in this game. But I think I like what he said after the game. I get it. I think after the MRI, if it's something nasty or serious, he's going to have to sit. But I think he's just earned the benefit of the doubt to trust him.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I get what you're saying, but I think
it's an interesting like thought process.
Yep.
Like Pacers fans, do you want him out there if he is going to put up the same stat line? Which you're right. He rebounded. He had a couple rebounds,
had some
couple assists. Like
they were still in the game, and he was out there. And then it got within 2, and then Oklahoma City blew it open.
Yep.
I think Oklahoma City has kind of fully unlocked their jitters /
Plus,
like
Oklahoma City's coach is going to, if Halliburton's out there, they will target him. They will try and take advantage of his lack of mobility.
Yep.
That's a really good point, too.
Yep.
On the defensive end, that's a huge factor.
Right.
They will go at him. That's why the Pacers are going to underplay it, too. They're not going to tell you what his injury is. You're not going to find out how bad it is.
Right.
2 side notes, though. One about Tyrese Halliburton's health. Have you guys watched him as he walks away from, like, the podium?
Yeah.
Like, just his back injury. And he's had it for years now. But it's just horrendous. Like, he looks like an old man. He's one of those guys you're like, oh, you're going to be bad when you're old. You know what I mean? That's just the vibe I get.
His body is very unique where he has, like, high-waisted hips where it makes him, like, super bendy and athletic. But I think guys like that tend to, like, deal with a lot more injuries, especially the back issue, too.
Yeah. And then side note number 2, I always think this when it comes time for, like, the NBA finals specifically. Like, if OKC wins tomorrow, it's in Indianapolis. Like, doesn't it suck if you win the finals not at your own court? Just especially these 2 fan bases. Like, yes, there's Pacer fans in the OKC stands. Yes, there's OKC fans in the Pacer stands. But, like, I mean, yes, you just won the finals. It's awesome. But also, it's so much cooler if you win it at home.
Yeah.
So much cooler.
I don't know. I take the parade. Give me the title and the parade. It doesn't matter where I win it.
I would say I remember Jordan talking about it when I think they'd won like 2. Let someone talk for a second.
Yeah. So Jordan won like 2.
He won like 2 titles, and I think maybe the third they won at home. And again, you don't try to win it at home, but it was one of those where I think the setup used to be like 2-3-2. So it was like, hey, we are going to take this at home. And so he was very happy that it definitely meant more to him to get that one at home. But I think that's when you're starting to get multiple titles where it's like, all right, I do want one of these at home in front of the stands.
That's fair.
It does make you feel really lucky that the Bucks won in 6 at Fiserv. I mean, it was going to be awesome the way they won anyways with the Giannis 50 piece, but it... Why doesn't somebody else talk?
Dump yourself.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. I don't think you have to dump yourself if it's an accident.
I don't know.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, go be a winner. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. We'll wrap it up with some Brewers notes on the other side.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. On Wednesday, June 18th, we're taking Wilde and Tausch back on the road down I-90 to Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Stop by and check out the new location featuring over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space. That includes more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, and a rock shop. Join us on Wednesday, June 18th from 9 to noon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Let's Hard Rock.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at madisonmagazine.com.
They beg me to stay, yeah. Call me in the morning to apologize. Every little lie gives me butterflies.
This is the song Teeth by 5 Seconds of Summer.
I've heard this one.
In honor of Molly Brown's visit to the dentist today to get her cavity taken care of. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime war shine behind the glass.
I was not blowing a kiss face at Matt Hamilton for what's worth. I was literally going... No.
And
I was literally
joking, like only one half of her mouth went up.
Literally, my face is just still swollen. We're coming down from it, though. We're coming down from the high.
We are presented by Coors Light.
That's not how Novocaine works.
Weed is tight. Weed is tight.
The Brewers take on the Cubs here on ESPN Madison. Pregame starts at 6:29. First pitch at 7:05. The Cubs are in first place. Brewers in second place. So a little bit of juice to this game early in the year. I did see this note from Jesse Rogers, ESPN, and he put out that the Cubs, and he works for ESPN Chicago, or is on ESPN Chicago regularly, Cubs Brewers at Wrigley Field this week. Wind blowing out here for the 5th time in 36 home games. In the previous 4 games, the teams averaged 17 runs per game.
Sheesh.
Wow. Yes.
So
also,
bet the over.
Yes. Also, Craig Counsell, if you were wondering, has 834 career wins to 732 career losses.
800, what'd you say?
834 career wins to 700, and I just closed it, 700 and some career losses. A 535, 530 something win percentage.
I would have really thought it'd be higher.
But baseball, there's not, you still don't get massive separations.
When he started as the manager, too, they were not great for his first, 3 years, I want to say.
You have one bad year, you could be 20 below, and usually how often are you 20 above 500? It's so, I was just pointing out that Craig Counsell, heck of a manager.
3-time runner-up for manager of the year.
Yes, always the bridesmaid, never the bride on that one there.
Minus 160 favorite to win it this year, though.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs still have a lot of work to do. The difference between these two teams is that the Cubs are going to add something at the trade deadline, the Brewers are not.
So
this is your roster you have.
You know what the over-under is for today's game?
I would say 7.
9.5.
Okay.
Okay. And you said in the last 5 where the wind was blowing out, they scored
the last 4. This is the 5th game that
17 runs
per game.
Yeah,
for
so
the teams. Yeah, yep.
It sounds like a tap-in. You take the over.
I think so. I don't know what type of pitcher Patrick is. Ben Brown, I think, definitely gives up home runs. So, and honestly, if you could do in-game betting, I would bet early because Ben Brown he gives up runs early in the game. Once he settles in, he's been better. For whatever reason. The Cubs have used it a few times. They're not doing it now where the old school Brewers thing where you'd have an opener where the relief pitcher would pitch the first inning of the game and then you'd bring in the starter. Ben Brown is remarkably better when that happens. I don't know why.
So hopefully the Brewers can
jump out on him early. Yeah.
Get 3-4 runs in the first.
If you're going to get him, that's usually when you get him. After that, he usually settles in and pitches much better.
Jim's now the betting sharp on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was giving the coaching advice earlier. I mean, geez.
Oh, coach.
Yes, that is a reference to Alec Ingold calling me and Pablo Iglesias coach throughout our interview on the Jump Around, our Badger dedicated show today. We had him on at 12:30. You can watch that on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Alec, great guy, but
it was a great interview
both of us as coach.
That's endearing.
It is. I didn't hate it.
Coach, there's absolutely no chance I'd be any good at water polo.
What's another thing that people lean on to call somebody?
Guy or
buddy?
So you mean
I'd rather be called coach?
Chief, yeah.
Chief.
If I was on the show, would he call me coach? Might be a little weird.
Why? Women can be coaches.
Yeah.
No, I know. Just
Jeez, Molly, it's 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. Yes. Okay, you're right. You're right.
I'd say, you know what I'd say for Molly? What's up, boss?
I mean,
Boss.
see, that tracks.
There you go.
Because I own you. I own all of you.
Whoa!
Jeez.
News to me.
Call me Aaron Rodgers.
Calling mommy all of a sudden. There. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they're your one-stop shop for all things security. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
Coach, there's absolutely no chance I'd be any good at water polo.
Live the high life and get into the